Welcome everyone to lecture 11 of our service law series, and today's focus is on article 16 in respect of service law. तो सबसे पहले let's try to understand what is the spirit of this article 16 about and how is it related to the service law. ठीक है, तो article 16 it basically forms part of our fundamental right to equality, जो कि आर्टिकल 14 टू 18 कवर करते हैं और इसी में आर्टिकल 16 आता है. तो इट्स एन एस्पेक्ट ऑफ राइट टू इक्वालिटी, बट इट is particularly with regard to public employment. So any employment under the state that is included, and there should be equality in opportunity that are given by state in respect of public employment. So here it also provides for various safeguards that are there for promotion, recruitment, reservation, etc. So let's read it. Article 16 is a specific manifestation of general principle of equality enshrined under Article 14. तो ये एक specific manifestation है because it is related to the equality of opportunity in public employment. तो इसलिए ये specific manifestation है, and then it aims to ensure equality of opportunities in matter of public employment and seeks to eliminate discrimination in appointment recruitment to public services. Why is it important in service jurisprudence? Because in context of reservation, recruitment procedure and promotion policies, this article is of immense importance. Now let's read the article itself. So here is the heading: Equality of opportunity in matters of public employment. Clause 1. There shall be equality of opportunity for all citizens in matters relating to employment or appointment to any office under the state. तो ये कहता है कि there shall be equality of opportunity. We have used shall here, so that means it's a mandatory provision. And it's a positive provision, like there's not the use of a negative connotation here. So it's a mandatory provision, and it states that there shall be equality of opportunity, that there will be equal opportunities for every citizen whenever there is employment or appointment to any office under the state. So it applies to all the citizens in cases of employment or appointment to office under the state. तो इस केस में वी शुड नो दैट स्टेट हैज़ बिन डिफाइंड अंडर आर्टिकल 12, एंड सिर्फ उन्हीं केसेस में जहाँ पे पब्लिक एम्प्लॉयमेंट है, कहाँ पे जब स्टेट अपॉइंट कर रहा है वहाँ पे एवरी सिटीजन शेल बी इक्वली treated, they shall be given equal opportunity for appointment to that service. ठीक है, it's a clear declaration, it's a mandatory declaration that has been provided for, and it's here specifying that it's only with respect to the public employment. Clause 2. No citizen shall, on grounds only of religion, race, caste, sex, descent, place of birth, residence, or any of them be ineligible for or discriminated against in respect of any employment or office under the state. तो यहाँ पे कहा गया है कि कोई भी सिटीजन जो है उसको डिस्क्रिमिनेट नहीं किया जाएगा. नो सिटीजन शेल बी डिस्क्रिमिनेटेड. किन किन बेसिस पे? रिलीजन, रेस, कास्ट, सेक्स, डिसेंट, प्लेस ऑफ बर्थ एंड रेजिडेंस के बेसिस पे. बट इफ़ यू नोटिस, जब हमने आर्टिकल 15 पढ़ा तो उधर से 5 ग्राउंड्स थे डिस्क्रिमिनेशन के, which were religion, race, caste, sex and place of birth. But here we have also included descent and residence. They shall also not be the grounds for discrimination, for categorizing someone ineligible in respect of employment under the state. It's a overarching prohibition over the state that it cannot discriminate on these grounds only or any of them. And now coming to clause 3, nothing in this article shall prevent Parliament from making any law prescribing in regard to a class or classes of employment or appointment to an office under the government of or any local or other authority within a state or union territory, any requirement as to residence within that state or union territory prior to such employment or appointment. बट यहाँ पे हमने कहा है कि नॉट विथ स्टैंडिंग एनीथिंग विच हैज़ बीन मैंशन दैट इट्स अ नॉन ऑब्स्टेंटिव क्लॉज, and it states that the parliament it still has the power of making any law which mandates certain conditions which are relating to the residence within the state or union territory जहाँ पे भी such employment or appointment shall be made. तो बेसिकली क्लॉज 3 में एक सेविंग क्लॉज डाल दे एक तरह से, या नॉन ऑब्स्टेंटिव क्लॉज, कि जो पार्लियामेंट है वो ऐसा लॉ बना सकती है, जबकि 2 में एक प्रोहिबिशन थी, बट उसको मद्देनज़र रखते हुए पार्लियामेंट एक लॉ बना सकती है कि such requirement conditions can be there. Now I'll give you an example, like the recent UPSC the Union Public Service Commission notification for judicial exams in Jammu and Kashmir. It states that only those who are domiciled in the UT of Jammu Kashmir and Leh, they are eligible for the appointment to the post of civil judges. So this is done under this provision. Now coming to the clause 4. Nothing in this article shall prevent the state from making any provision for the reservation of appointments or posts in favor of any backward class of citizens, which in opinion of state is not adequately represented in the services under the state. अब फिर से इन्होंने कहा है कि ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है इस आर्टिकल में जो प्रिवेंट करेगा स्टेट को. बेशक प्रोहिबिशन लगाए कि हमने कि क्लास के बेसिस पे, रिलीजन के बेसिस पे, कास्ट के बेसिस पे कोई प्रोविज़न नहीं बनाया जाएगा, बट द स्टेट कैन डू दैट, बट ओनली इन फेवर ऑफ द बैकवर्ड क्लास ऑफ सिटीजन्स. हियर वी हैव यूज्ड द टर्म बैकवर्ड क्लास ऑफ सिटीजन्स विच इन ओपिनियन ऑफ द स्टेट, और ये ओपिनियन ऑफ स्टेट जो है उसमें एडिक्वेटली रिप्रेजेंटेड नहीं होने चाहिए उस सर्विसेज में. सो यहाँ पे जो 2 इम्पॉर्टेंट बातें हैं कि जो स्टेट है वो बैकवर्ड क्लास ऑफ, क्लास हम किस चीज़ को कहते हैं, एक होमोजीनस ग्रुप को कहते हैं जो कि बैकवर्ड है इन टर्म्स ऑफ इकोनॉमी और लाइक सोशली. तो वहाँ पे उस क्लास ऑफ सिटीजन्स के लिए आप क्या कर सकते हैं, एडिक्वेटली रिप्रेजेंटेड अगर नहीं है तो स्टेट जो है प्रोविज़न बना सकती है उनकी रिजर्वेशन के लिए. तो रिजर्वेशन प्रोविज़न हैज़ बीन गिवन अंडर आर्टिकल 16 clause 4. Now the amendments were made and 4A and 4B clauses were added subsequently. And 4A states that nothing in this article shall prevent the state from making the provision for reservation in matters of promotion. It talks about promotion with consequential seniority. It also talks about consequential seniority to any class or classes of posts in services under the state in favor of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes which in opinion of state are not adequately represented. तो यहाँ पे scheduled caste और scheduled tribes की बात की गई है और कहा गया है कि in matters of promotion और consequential seniority state जो है provision reservation के लिए बना सकती है. तो जब हम 16(4) की बात करते हैं तो वहाँ पे हमने reservation दिया है कहाँ, in recruitment itself. बट यहाँ पे 4A में प्रमोशन में रिजर्वेशन की बात की गई है. And let's read 4b. Clause 4b states that nothing in this article shall prevent the state from considering any unfilled vacancy of a year which are reserved for being filled up in that year in accordance with any provision for reservation made under clause 4 or 4a. तो जहाँ पे भी क्लॉज 4 या 4a में रिजर्वेशन की गई थी और वो फिल नहीं हुई है वो वैकेंसीज, यानी कैरी फॉरवर्ड जो रूल है वो स्टेट किया गया 4b में. Made under this as a separate class of vacancies to be filled up in any succeeding year or years, and such class of vacancies shall not be considered together with vacancies of the year in which they are being filled up for determining the ceiling of 50% reservation on total number of vacancies that year. In very easy language is just stating that 50% जो ceiling है जो इंदिरा सहानी केस से आई थी उसको कंसिडर करने में जो ये हमने कैरी फॉरवर्ड किए वैकेंसीज वो काउंट नहीं होंगी. यानी कि फॉर एग्जांपल दिस ईयर देयर वर लाइक 5 पोस्ट विच आर रिजर्व्ड एंड आउट ऑफ दीज 5 ओनली 3 वर फिल्ड एंड 2 आर लेफ्ट. सो दीज आर कैरीड फॉरवर्ड टू दिस next year 2026, and let's say that 50% mark was reached, the posts that were reserved here. So let's say the 5 posts were reserved out of 10 posts, राइट. तो 50% रिजर्व हो गई थी. बट ये जो 2 वैकेंसीज है अगर हम इन्हें ऐड करेंगे तो टोटल क्या होगा 7/10. तो यहाँ पे 50% से ज़्यादा हो जाएगा. तो इसके लिए टू गिव अ फर्दर प्रोटेक्शन कि इसका मिसयूज़ ना किया जाए कि अगर रिजर्वेशन था वो अप्रोप्रिएटली यूज़ ही नहीं हो रहा है, तो उसके लिए कैरी फॉरवर्ड रूल है कि ये जो लेफ़्ट ओवर वैकेंसीज हैं इनको नेक्स्ट ईयर जो कंसिडर किया जाएगा वो सेपरेटली किया जाएगा, ना कि इन टोटल देखा जाएगा, ताकि 50% मार्क भी ब्रीच ना हो. नाउ द इक्वालिटी ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड द रोल ऑफ स्टेट. सो द स्टेट मस्ट कंडक्ट मेरिट बेस्ड ट्रांसपेरेंट सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस. तो स्टेट के ऊपर थ्रू दिस आर्टिकल देयर इज़ अ ड्यूटी कि जो सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस है वो बहुत ही नॉन डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी और नॉन आर्बिट्रेरी होना चाहिए. इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी इट इम्प्लाइज फेयर कॉम्पिटिशन, नॉट एब्सोल्यूट इक्वालिटी, कि फेयर कॉम्पिटिशन होना चाहिए. अब फेयर कॉम्पिटिशन होना चाहिए, इसी के लिए हमने रिजर्वेशन को प्रमोट किया यहाँ पे. बिकॉज इफ़ यू रिमेंबर द एग्जाम्पल दैट आई गिव, दैट इफ दिस इज अ स्टेडियम एंड देर इज़ अ मैच ऑफ क्रिकेट हियर, द viewers here, this is a wall. If someone is this tall, he can see the match, he can also see the match. But someone is this long, he cannot see past the wall. So यहाँ पे although they have been given equal opportunity, absolute equality, कि सबको equal treatment दिया तो गया है कि wall है उसके साथ सब खड़े होकर मैच देख रहे हैं, there is no discrimination. बट यहाँ पे फेयर होना पड़ेगा. इसके लिए फेयर नहीं है कि यहाँ पे इतनी बड़ी वॉल है और इसके लिए एक ड्रॉबैक है. तो इसलिए फेयर कंपटीशन के लिए विल प्रोवाइड सम सपोर्ट टू हिम सो दैट ही कैन ऑल्सो सी द मैच. सो सेम अप्लाइज हियर इन केस ऑफ इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर द बैकवर्ड क्लासेस. The principle includes right to be considered for appointment but not a guarantee of appointment. ठीक है, इस प्रिंसिपल की वजह से आपको एक राइट मिलता है कि आपको कंसिडर किया जाए, बट ऐसा नहीं है कि आपको गारंटी कर दिया गया है कि अगर आप बैकवर्ड क्लास से बिलोंग करते हैं तो you'll short be selected for the post. No, it's not like that. It's just a right that you will be given equal opportunity with everyone else to appear for the exam. If you qualify as per the qualifications, you will be selected. Otherwise, it's not a right or a guarantee. Now, let's see some judgments. First is State of Bihar versus Kumar Pramod Narayan Singh. It was held that here the selection process was made without preparing a merit list. So, it was held the method was arbitrary and violating Article 16. In the last to last lecture, when we discussed Article 14, we read how equality is antithesis to arbitrariness. Therefore, अगर सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस आर्बिट्रेरी है तो वहाँ पे इक्वालिटी तो हो ही नहीं सकती. तो जहाँ पे आप मेरिट लिस्ट के बिना सिलेक्शन कर रहे हैं दैट इज़ आर्बिट्रेरी. पिक एंड चूज बेसिस है, कोई रीजनेबल क्लासिफिकेशन है ही नहीं, कोई इंटेलिजिबल डिफरेंशिया है ही नहीं. तो उस बेसिस पे इट कैन नॉट बी हेल्ड एज वैलिड. तो यहाँ पे आर्टिकल 16 वॉज वायलेटेड इन दिस केस. एंड even within reservation or special recruitment, transparency and equal treatments are mandatory. Then the case of Shankar K. Mondal versus State of Bihar. Now, candidates' eligibility based on cut-off date. So, a cut-off date for eligibility is valid. It's a reasonable classification. And it must be uniformly applied and pre-declared. Arbitrary fixation of dates can violate. अगर pre-decided eligibility cut-off date है, that will be valid and will not violate Article 16. But अगर pre-decided नहीं है, तो it will be arbitrary. Then classification based on educational qualification. So there is Article 335, which mentioned that reservation can be given, but it should be subject to the efficiency of administration should not be compromised. So here Article 335 was also later amended, and there was a clause which was added that reservation can be made subject to that. And before that, this educational qualification was a classification, and it was a reasonable classification under Article 16. And because it had a reasonable, rational nexus with the objective of the post. Now coming to the next topic, invalid selection and process manipulation. So in the case of Union of India versus O. Chakradhar, it was an allegation made that intangible manipulative practices were used in the selection process. Because the process lacked transparency and fairness, the entire selection process was quashed. And again, in cases of service matters, Article 16 upheld the equality part, the equality principle of the Constitution. Now, the arbitrary process of selection is also covered under the topic of over appointment beyond the advertised post. So for appointment, you have to advertise the vacancies. Like for example, I gave you the example of the civil posts in civil judge posts in Jammu and Kashmir. So there comes a detailed table, like how many vacancies are there, in which category, how many reservations are there. Like everything is pre-decided and mentioned there. The syllabus, the procedure, everything. So if such advertisements are there, and beyond those advertised vacancies the appointments are made, they will be arbitrary, and there will be some chance of manipulation or corruption. So that's why it violates Article 16. तो मदन लाल वर्सेस स्टेट ऑफ जम्मू एंड कश्मीर के केस में इट वाज हेल्ड कि अगर एडवर्टाइज्ड पोस्ट से ज़्यादा आपने अपॉइंटमेंट की है तो वो भी वायलेटिव है आर्टिकल 16 का. देन एडहॉक एंड रेगुलर अपॉइंटमेंट्स. So ad hoc appointments are when for a special qualification you are appointing someone. It's not a permanent appointment, but it's ad hoc for the time being. In case of state of Rajasthan versus Jagdish Narayan Chaturvedi, it was held that there is a clear distinction between ad hoc and regular appointments. Ad hoc employees do not acquire the right to regularization unless procedures under recruitment rules are followed. तो अगर आप किसी को किसी स्पेशल क्वालिफिकेशन की वजह से एक एड होक एम्प्लॉय को अपॉइंट करते हो तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप उसे परमानेंट कर दोगे, उसे रेगुलर एम्प्लॉय बना ही दोगे. So that is why a distinction was made in these two type of appointments in this case of state of Rajasthan versus Jagdish Narayan Chaturvedi. Then coming to 16.2, it's a non-discrimination clause that on these grounds there cannot be any discrimination. It differs from 15.1 because 15.1 applies to public places mainly and the services which are available to the public, but this applies strictly to the public employment cases. Then 16.3, it talks about residence requirement, again the Jammu Kashmir example, and even in certain jobs it's mentioned, pre-decided that such domicile will be necessary, such people can apply only. So wherever there is a requirement, there is a reasonable classification or intelligible differentia that you can see there, that it's essential for the person to be domiciled there for the job, so there you can apply this requirement. And it basically promotes the appointments within the state, so it kind of prioritizes the employment within the state. Then 16.4, that is reservation for backward classes. So in this, if there is any backward class, you have to see if they are inadequately represented. That would be the opinion of the state, and then there can be a reservation for backward classes. So in this we read the case of M.R. Balaji versus State of Mysore, in which backward classes must be identified using social and educational criteria, not caste alone. तो सिर्फ कास्ट अलग है, एक बैकवर्ड क्लास अलग है. कास्ट जो है वो एक पर्टिकुलर कास्ट से बिलोंग करते हैं, बट क्लास में दे कैन बी डिफरेंट पीपल फ्रॉम डिफरेंट कास्ट जिनका एक दे हैव अ सेम फीचर कि सब भी एजुकेशनली और सोशली बैकवर्ड हैं. सो दैट्स वाई अ बैकवर्ड क्लास doesn't necessarily mean कि it's only from the one class. Then the reservation should not exceed 50%, it was also held. Then the case of Rajendra Pradhan versus Union of India, it held the need for rational data and classification, but then it was later on held that there is no need to collect the data. In E.V. Chinnaiya versus State of Andhra Pradesh, it was held that scheduled caste, they form a homogeneous class under the constitution, and sub classification is not permissible by the state law, but recently the sub classification was permitted in a Supreme Court case. Then coming to Article 16.4a, reservation in promotion. So it was introduced by the 77th Amendment Act, in which promotions में रिजर्वेशन अलाउ की गई थी SC and STs के लिए. एंड बाय द 85th अमेंडमेंट एक्ट प्रमोशन में कॉन्सिक्वेंशियल सीनियरिटी का कॉन्सेप्ट लाया गया. कॉन्सिक्वेंशियल सीनियरिटी बेसिकली मीन्स अगर रिजर्व कैटेगरी से किसी को प्रमोट किया गया बिफोर अ जनरल कैंडिडेट ड्यू टू रिजर्वेशन, वहाँ पे वो ही रिटेन्स द सीनियरिटी फ्रॉम डेट ऑफ प्रमोशन. सो हियर if these two people, they were appointed on the same date, let's say today 15 May 2025, so he belongs to the reserved category, he was promoted on 16 May 2025, so now he will retain his seniority. His date say he'll be considered senior to him, and he'll get the promotion faster. So basically it was another push which was provided for by the constitutional safeguards for the betterment of reserved categories. Then the case of M. Nagaraj versus Union of India, these amendments that provided for consequential seniority, reservation in promotion, they were held as valid, and it was held that there should be quantifiable data for backwardness, there should be inadequacy of representation, maintenance of administrative efficiency, that is Article 335. But then there were amendments made and other judgments. So now coming to the carry forward rule under Article 16 clause 4b, बेसिकली अगर जो हमने किया था एग्जाम्पल कि अगर 50% सीलिंग जो है उसको कंसिडर किया जाए, तो उसमें जो कैरी फॉरवर्ड की गई हैं वैकेंसीज लास्ट ईयर से, उसको काउंट नहीं किया जाएगा. दैट जस्ट इट. and landmark cases Indira Savhani versus Union of India, and um, also the Veerpal Singh Chauhan case. It addressed the importance of non-discriminatory and fair treatment of employees. Now, just a quick revision of Amendment 77th Amendment Act, which inserted Article 16(4)(a). 81st Amendment Act inserted Article 16 Clause 4(b). 82nd Amendment Act, it provided for relaxation of qualifying marks for SC/ST. That was, it amended Article 335. And the 85th article, it provided for consequential seniority in promotions for SC and ST. So that's it for the video. I think we can also cover the landmark judgments one in another video. So I'll come up with that video. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share and comment.